Hey friends, this is the Mrs. Wolfie from our Half Acre Homestead with a tea break. Now I apologize you're not getting a regular video today, but I have been sick for a good 3 weeks and I've just not been able. The last week has not been so much sick as it has been recovering from being sick. So I'm back, getting back on track. I've got a lot of work to do, but let's talk about sauerkraut. Now, I'm not sure what sauerkraut is, but when I released the video today of me giving breadcrumbs and carrot peels mixed in with their stuff, this is the first time I've ever heard of sauerkraut. This is the first time anybody's ever told me you can't give bread to chickens. Well, I'm going to tell you just to reassure you that the bread was toasted or stale, and it was mixed with something other than bread, and it was mixed with their food. So I did it 2 days in a row. They seem to be fine, no problem. And I'm going to save the bread for occasional giving it to them, because apparently it can get into their crop and it doesn't grind up. It just gets into a doughy ball. So what I find amusing is that I've been telling people for weeks that I've been saving up all my stale bread ends, my crust ends, burnt toast, vegetable peels, and table scraps to give to my chickens. And in all that time that I mentioned all them bread, nobody ever told me not to give bread to my chickens. Now, I've been raising chickens for 30 years off and on, and that's the first I've ever heard of that. But to be safe, I'm only going to do it like twice a week, which will still even out a lot of the feed. Now, they still have their baby crumb starter, and I'm getting a bag from the local saddlery of grower. Now, I am not buying commercial grower. All right. I had no choice with the baby crumb, the chick crumb, the starter, to buy Purina. But after I've heard everything I've heard, I asked the local store to order in a local feed mill's grain. They do the grain, they grind it, they make up their mash and stuff like that. Because I don't trust. I'm not so trustworthy anymore. That's one of the reasons I've been saving so much table scraps and vegetable peels and stuff like that and putting it in the freezer for the chickens, because I want it to stretch. I want to make it stretch. And I want, so far everything looks really good. I've been feeding them twice a day for the simple reason is those are broilers. Those white birds are broilers. And if you give them constant feed, then they will do nothing but they will lay there and eat until their legs can't support them anymore, or they'll have heart attacks, because they're designed by genetics to grow really fast. Unfortunately, their cardiovascular system, their heart and lungs, don't grow as fast. So they'll be being fed twice a day, and the only time they're going to have extra is when we're gone away for the weekend. But so far, so good. Everything looks good out there. My garlic looks awesome. I'm thinking I'm going to have to sacrifice yet another bed because I found several more clumps. And here's the way I look at it, right? Everything I plant, I have no control other than feeding, watering, and weeding. I have no control over how my garden's going to grow. But those garlics, they want to grow. They are growing. Which means to me that says they need to be given the chance to grow. So I think the next nice day I'm going to go out and I'm going to dig up the last few clumps of garlic and I'm going to sacrifice another bed to it, because garlic is healthy. It's good for your blood pressure. It's good for your cholesterol. I'm not a doctor, okay? But it is good for you. All of the onion family is, all of the, especially chives and garlic, have antibiotic properties. So if I'm I'm doing this because I've been sowing. I've chosen the pattern for Bubba's quilt, and I think I'm going to do, like someone said, it's a boy's quilt, don't do too many hearts. I might just do one big one in the center and then do all the 9 patches around it. We'll see. We will see. But that's going to be a fall and winter project as well this year. I'm going to be getting back into quilting and sewing from Bubba. The kids are coming. We're going this weekend to pick up. We bought a pool off of somebody in Gatineau, and they have the liner still in the box. Howie just has to take down the pool. We've been waiting for the snow to be gone. So we're getting the whole thing for $500, which means we're going to have a brand new liner and a brand new wall and extra spare parts for because we get it all, right? The pool is standing without a liner in it, and they just want it taken down, and they'll give us the liner to go with it. So that's what's happening this weekend. We're going to get the pool. And on the last weekend of May, which is I think the only time the kids can do it, the kids are coming up. Arthur and Mel are coming up with Bubba. And Arthur's going to help Howie put the pool up. And hopefully we'll get it done Saturday. And hopefully we can get it filled Saturday night and be swimming Sunday. Right? We'll see. You never know. But that's the end of May. What I think I'm going to do that weekend also is Bubba's going to get introduced to the chickens. Now, listen, people. Listen very carefully if you have chickens and babies. Chicken poo. Now, people also have been asking me, okay, let's do the chicken poo. Chicken poo carries bacteria that can cause really bad damages. It can be very damaging to children and babies. Okay? So I have a friend who got some kind of viral fever from cleaning out a chicken coop when he was a kid, and he got a bad heart from it. So I said to Mel, we're going to show Bubba the chickens, but bring him a little mask just for over his mouth and nose, just so he can be, hopefully he'll be so fascinated with the chickens, right? But I said, I just don't want any hiccups at all. And then I might save my bean beds for that weekend, to plant that weekend while Mel and Bubba are with me in the garden, just enjoying, and Arthur and Howie are putting up the pool. So these are all things that are coming up. I'm canning tomorrow. I had that big, beautiful pork loin. I cut it up into 3 pieces and vacuum sealed it. Well, the seals all went on the pork. And I have chicken breasts, boneless, skinless chicken breasts that I just froze, but I'm gonna can them. 1 piece of breast per half-pint jar, and that is exactly enough to make 2 sandwiches for Howie's lunches. So I'm gonna can some of them. I've got a roast beef. I've got some beef, some pork, and some chicken, but I'm going to be canning meat tomorrow. So that's a video coming up. All right. Lots of things are starting to get put into motion. Every chance I get when I go out and feed the chickens in the morning, I feed them in the morning, and then I feed them at supper time. I go out in the morning and I try and pull some weeds, start clearing out a bed or half a bed while I'm out there. So, because the garden's a mess, big mess. So I think I'm going to sacrifice one of the carrot bed that I was going to plant for another bed of garlic, because I have those black tubs that I can plant carrots in if I want to. And carrots are something that we usually can get pretty cheap in September, right? So I'm canning tomorrow, and I've got an idea, a couple of cool ideas, or at least one cool idea on how to save all of your plastic freezer bags that you've been washing and saving, to keep them tidy. All right? That's coming too. Oh, one more thing. It's Thursday, isn't it? We are starting Little House Live on the banks of Plum Creek at 6:30 tonight. And then after that, we do our on Reading with Beverly Wolfe. And after that, we go to Life with the Wolfes, and we do our Thursday night card pulling live stream. So they got that to look forward later on today. All right. I love you. Take care. God bless. And thanks again for your patience. Mwah.